Guten Tag alle, Herr Wallace here. Today we're going to talk about relative pronouns and relative clauses. So before we begin our discussion, let's take a look at how relative pronouns change in the various cases. In the nominative case or subject case, it's pretty straightforward. Masculine nouns are der, feminine nouns are die, neuter nouns are das, and plural nouns are die. In the accusative or the direct object case, the masculine nouns will change to dein, and die and das will stay the same, as I like to say. In the dative, masculine nouns will change to dame, dative being the indirect object case, and then in the genitive, to show possession or to be the equivalent of the English whose for masculine nouns will be dessen. For feminine nouns, in the direct object case or accusative, it will remain die. The dative or indirect object case will change to der, and the genitive, to show possession or to say whose, will be deren. For neuter nouns, it will remain the same, das. Dative will change to dame, and the genitive, to show possession again, will change to dessen. For the plural nouns, it will remain die in the accusative, changing to deinen, or the dative plural, in the dative or indirect object case, and in the genitive will be deren as well. So now we're going to take a look at some examples of each case. So using relative pronouns in the nominative case, here we have a sentence, dass die Frau, and I want to say that has given me a gift. So in the second clause, the Frau, or the lady, is playing the role of the subject of the sentence, so it will not change. It'll be nominative, dass die Frau, die mir ein Geschenk gegeben hat. In our next example, das ist das Auto gehört mir. So in our second clause, it's playing the role of the subject, so it'll be nominative as well. And just as a side note, remember, gehören is a verb that means to belong to, and it is a dative verb. In our next example, das der Hund, der mich gebissen hat. Here, the dog has bitten me. The dog is playing again the role of the subject. And in our final plural example, das sind die Hunde, die die ganze Nacht bellen. Those are the dogs that bark all night. So here we are using them also as a nominative or subject. Okay, let's take a look at some accusative examples. Here we're using the noun in the second clause as a direct object, so I have seen the lady is how it would play out here in our first example, making the lady the direct object, making it accusative. Das ist die Frau, die ich gesehen habe. Das ist das Auto, das ich gesehen habe. Das ist der Hund, den ich gesehen habe. And here's where you have to watch out with masculine nouns in the direct object, or used as direct objects. So you want to watch that. And then for the plural, das sind die Hunde, die ich gesehen habe, that I have seen. Okay? Now we have the dative examples. Here we're using the relative pronoun as fulfilling the role of an indirect object or coming after a dative verb. As in our first example, helfen is a dative verb. So das ist die Frau, der ich nicht helfen kann. That's the lady that I cannot help. Wo ist das Kind, dem ich danken wollte, that I wanted to thank. Here danken is a dative verb. Here, das ist der Mann, dem ich das Geld gegeben habe, so to whom I have given the money, basically. And you are giving what? The money, which is the direct object, to who? The man, or to whom, in this case the man, making him the indirect object, therefore dative. And then finally, hier sind die Leute, denen du danken sollst, who you should thank, and danken is a dative verb, so we're using that. Okay, now we're going to use our final genitive examples of relative pronouns. Das ist die Frau, deren Mann gestorben ist. Here we're using whose. Wo ist das Kind, dessen Spielzeug gebrochen ist? Das ist der Mann, dessen Geld gestohlen ist. Und hier sind die Schüler, deren Hunde ihre Hausaufgaben gefressen haben. So here are the students whose dogs have eaten their homework. Okay, vielen Dank für das Zuschauen. Ich hoffe, dass es ein bisschen geholfen hat. Und vielen Dank. Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen.